traders, welcome back to Fides Trading channel, and we are back again with another Fides Flows video. Today we're doing the daily market brief for Thursday, the 4th of September 2025. In my Fides Flows videos, I do a deep dive into the price action and fundamentals behind gold, Nas100 and Us30, giving you a clear roadmap for the trading day ahead. Using high timeframe technical analysis, I identify key zones, momentum shift, and trend structures, and then combine that with real-time macroeconomic drivers like interest rates, inflation data, and market sentiment. So whether you're a swing trader or day trader, this breakdown helps you understand what's really moving these markets and where high probability setups might form. Without further ado, let's hop into the charts. Starting with gold, we are on the 4-hour time frame. Gold currently trading at 3539 after a massive bullish move which kicked off on the 22nd of August. So let's just quickly take a look at this move and see what's happened. So gold was initially trading in the range between 3,450 and 3,250. Price pretty much consolidated for the majority of July. Coming into August, consolidated for the most part. We had some bearish weeks, price actually going down. Markets was very still around this point, didn't even reach back down to 3,300. But then on Friday, 22nd of August, we had a massive spike to the upside during the New York session. That spike actually bounced off the 200 SMA, and we had broke above the 21 and 50-day moving average here on the 4-hour chart. And in turn, it created a nice little rejection back on the pivot level of 3,350. From that pivot level above the 21 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, we had a strong push to the upside. A little bit of chop, but for the most part that week, despite having chop Friday, we still produced another strong bullish candle, and that kicked off the remainder of last week, where we just saw a strong bullish inclination to the upside. Throughout this week, also saw strong bullish pushes, mostly during the Asian session, so Asian manipulation of this market, where they took excessive long positions in the gold market, and this sent this market all the way up to 3,580. Now that from 3,320, what does that equate to? About a 260 point push to the upside. So if you risked just 0.01 lot sizes here, you would have made $260. That is absolutely insane. So we can see the extent of the bullish move that's actually taken place over the past 2 weeks, and it is massive. In fact, if we take a look at performance here at the bottom, let's take a look. This past week, we saw a 4.21 increase in gold. Over the month, 4.89. Over 3 months, 5.51. Over 6 months, 21.57% increase. And over a year, 42.07. That is crazy, crazy gold prices. And it is clear that gold is just as valuable as it was a millennia ago. People still gravitate towards it, and still a very tradable commodity. All right, let's hop into the analysis and see what we can observe for the intraday opportunities. So like I mentioned, gold currently trading at 3,540. Currently in an impulse move to the upside. Currently moving to the upside, but we are currently in a retracement, and we could potentially be testing the 3,500 level, which is our other pivot point, which we have marked off here. Price trading with a bullish support channel, and we are far above the 21 SMA, which makes sense that we will see some sort of retracement getting back closer to this level before we see a further push to the upside. Upon the RSI, we can see that we did tap into that overextended levels. We tapped into the overextended levels on the previous Friday, the 29th of August. And we pretty much stayed in these overextended levels throughout the week, which is not that common on the 4-hour chart. But again, a move of this caliber is not that common. So prices stayed very much within that extended region for the majority of the week, and we are now between that 55 and 70 zone in the bullish region. supporting further bullish upsides, but highlighting the fact that a retracement is needed to collect liquidity before a further push. So because we've so far removed from this 21 SMA, I do expect further downside positions to play out before I start searching for long positions. But that being said, these overextended levels and how far removed we were from the 21 SMA in making this move could mean that we could see further pushes from the level that we are at. But let's drop into the 1 hour and see what we can observe. I would say the 1 hour, it kind of provides a better highlight towards the movements of the past week. So again, let's go back to that 22nd of August 2025. So the points here I've highlighted are potential trade opportunities that actually matched strategy and confluences, which we are looking at. So let's do a nice little deep dive into the 1 hour time frame. So upon the 1 hour time frame, we can see that price had that strong push to the upside, kicking off the bullish trend, moved sideways for a bit. Then we tapped into the 21, between the 21 SMA and the 50 SMA range right here. And once price tapped in there, we could also note that we were in the sweet spot region of the RSI. Then once that push happened, we had a strong pulse to the upside. Definitely a good opportunity to get in on the 5-minute chart. Another one here on the 27th of August, we can see that price came back between that 21 and 50-day range of the SMAs. We tapped into the sweet spot region of the RSI and had a little push to the upside. Another trade, and so on and so on and so on. Let's take a look at the trades from the Friday. So we can see that on the Friday, tapped the 21 SMA, sweet spot region of the RSI. We also hit the pivot level. We have finally settled above the pivot level of 3,400. Price coming back, testing there, pushing all the way above the 3,440 pivot level. Then on Monday, during the Asian session, tested said pivot level, became a break and retest zone, pushed all the way up. Consolidated for the majority of the New York session on Monday. Tuesday had a little spike up during the Asian session, consolidated, and then New York session just blew it out the water again, and we pushed above 3,500, essentially creating new highs in the process, with price settling at 3,580 before dropping. So what can we observe now? Well, price broke above the 21, broke above the major pivot levels. During this retracement, settled between the 21 and 50-day range. We have now broken back above that 21 SMA. But again, it seems that the steam in which price is trading at has kind of dissipated. We can see here we have Asian lows at 3512 and the Asian highs at 3563. Price currently sitting in a bit of a consolidation phase, as we can observe. In terms of the RSI, we can see that price was trading in the bullish, for predominantly trading in the bullish region of the RSI, but this deep retracement that we can see here actually pushed us to the bearish region, and we are now just comfortably settling in the sweet spot. Do see some bearish signs kicking in here, but for the most part, what I'm looking for is the test of the bullish support trend line, which we observed on the 4-hour chart. So price coming back here, testing the 500-day SMA, testing the bullish support trend line, and potentially the 21 SMA settling within that range. Price gets back there, it means that there's a deep retracement, enough liquidity has been collected, potentially seeing the sweet spot region between 45 and 55 tested, and then looking for a nice entry candle on the 1 hour, either a three white soldiers or perhaps bullish engulfing candle, nice little Maribozu that engulfs a consolidation phase. So that is pretty much how I'm viewing gold at the moment. I am bullish on gold, so we can see strong bullish market directionality. However, I'm cognizant of the fact that we are tapping into the overextended levels, and I am waiting for those retracements to play out before I look for long opportunities. Now, what am I looking for within these long opportunities? Well, based on the movements I've seen in the past, I can't be waiting for the perfect confluential setup, although that might be ideal. I am using a bit of a system where I'm ranking the support and resistance levels, because that's where price immediately reacts to these particular levels. So I'm looking at the pivot levels as well as general levels of significance. So for example, this would be classified as a general level of significance right here at 3,470. So waiting for price to get back to one of these levels, seeing how it reacts, seeing how it plays out against the indicators, because as we know, indicators are lagging. But taking a trade on that, if the indicators do support that after the trade has been taken, and I do see some I do see some gains in my long positions, then further adding to set positions and riding that wave to the upside. So as it stands, gold price is trading within the Asian range at the moment upon the 21 SMA. I'm expecting further downside movements, like I mentioned, to 3,500. But at 3,500, I'm going to be looking to lock in long positions from there and put a moderate stop loss, so I can then ride the wave all the way to potentially 3,600. Now, is overextended. We could potentially be going down, but again, I take intraday opportunities. So if one opportunity doesn't work out, that's okay. Trend turns against me, that's okay. I just lose a very small portion of my account, and then I ride the wave all the way back to the side that momentum has supported, whether it be to the upside or the downside. But right now, I am looking for long positions, and we will have to wait to see how this market reacts. So that's pretty much gold for today. We can also see gold future price at 3,597, which is nearly a 60-point difference, supporting the bullish move to the upside. Let's move on to Nas100 or US Tech. So US Tech sitting on the 4-hour chart, we can see that Nas100 is moving with bullish consolidation, and it is currently sitting between the range of 23,000 and 23,680, which is two major pivot levels. We have broken the bullish support trend line, so I'm going to be taking that out now. And we have not yet established firm market directionality. But based on the 4-hour chart, we can see that despite trading upon the 21 and 50-day moving average, we are still above the 200-day moving average, which supports the bullish confluence that insinuates that the bullish trend is still very much intact. So with price trading within the range, we can see that today we are trading with a bit of a bullish push to the upside, trading in the sweet spot region of the RSI in the 4-hour. Dropping into the 1-hour, we can see this bullish play actually working out a lot better. Price trading after having a massive dip towards the 23,000 pivot level. Price had a strong spike to the upside, which is pretty much just settled it on the SMAs, on all three SMAs. So we are seeing a consolidation nature taking place here. Price trading between the Asian highs and lows of 23,380 and 23,485 at the moment. And just sitting in the bullish region of the RSI above 55, but again, it's consolidating nature. So although we're looking for long positions, very little momentum in these markets at the moment, potentially due to the massive movements in gold that investors are actually giving indices a backseat and observing the movements there. Like I mentioned, we haven't broken out at the Asian highs or low yet, so we are trading within that range. If we do get a breakout to either side today, then I will readjust the analysis accordingly. But as it stands, not much in terms of market directionality. If the bullish structure holds and we actually do get momentum stepping in, I would be looking to trade this from the Asian high of 23,485 all the way to 23,680. But yeah, again, we got to first see how the markets react to said level. Let's move on to US30. US30 currently trading at 45236, also in a bit of a ranged fashion right here. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price had a strong push to the upside last week, and we actually broke above the 45,000 level, but found resistance or general level of resistance at 45,700. Price tapped that 3 times before actually coming back and testing the 45,000 pivot level, which it had originally broken. Now this trend line has been invalidated, so we're going to get rid of it. And we can see here on the 4-hour time frame, price trading upon the 21 and 50-day moving average, but well above the 200-day moving average, which again adds to the confluence that the bullish trend is still very much intact. We are trading the bearish region of the RSI here on the 4-hour, which could indicate that this trend is potentially dying, like the bearish trend is potentially dying, and we could see some upside potential really soon. But this will be identified on the 1-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, price trading below the 21 and 50-day moving average, but above the 200-day moving average. And we can actually see a nice little curvature of price with a double bottom pattern upon a pivot level. So very significant signal here for further upside positioning. So I am certainly looking for long positions off this major pivot level here. That does support what we're looking at here with the 4-hour time frame. So certainly looking for long positions, but we need to see price reacting accordingly. I don't think I set up. I did set it up. Wednesday, Thursday. No, I didn't set it up. Let me just set up my Asian highs, Asian lows here quickly. Oh, what am I doing? That's why I'm wondering why this thing isn't moving. Okay. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, now it's set up. Okay. So, Asian low. Nope, not there, but should be somewhere around there. I will fix those a bit later, but as it stands, Asian highs, Asian lows. Currently 45150 and then 45250. So very narrow Asian range today. So it's clear that the Asian market wasn't really looking to trade. We'll have to wait to see how market directionality is established in the coming sessions. But as it stands, I'm not looking to trade this market. The only market I really am looking at is gold, because of the massive volume that has stepped in over the past 2 weeks. So it's clearly a market that is moving with momentum. And there's not a lot of these momentum days. So when it happens, you got to be on the ball. You got to be focused. You got to be scalping. You got to be making your opportunities. Because, yeah, I mean, after, 250 trading days or so in the year, maybe 50 of them are valid trading days. So make them count. Looking at the VIX, so take a look at the VIX for today. VIX is trading at 16.25, but has been very volatile throughout the week. We can see that the VIX actually spiked all the way to 19.34, which is probably due to that massive move in the gold market, with investors actually becoming a little bit more, risk averse and investing in gold and setting that gold market sky high, while neglecting indices for the most part, because as we can see, indices didn't really move all that much. That being said, VIX is back at 16.25, which is nearly what the opening was at the beginning of the week. So clear volatility in this week, clear signs that the gold market has potentially produced some great opportunities for entry. But just observations that the bullish confluence for gold is definitely there per the VIX index. Taking a look at fundamentals for today. Well, fundamentals for today include unemployment claims and PMI for the USD. It has been a massive fundamental week for the market. However, the volatility indicates something deep is playing out in the Asian markets from a technical perspective due to the bullish rise of gold, because most of these moves have happened during the Asian session. Albeit we have had some moves during the New York session, etc. But most part, the mornings have shown some serious signs of life. So I would be cautious about what the Asian markets are doing and how that works. But just looking at news outlets. So news outlets are highlighting the record-breaking rise of gold over the past 2 weeks, while indices are focused more on individual stocks and the fundamental releases of the day. See gold booking profits, record-breaking rally, gold holds at record levels. Yeah. So, I mean, this was very much unseen. We were trading that range with a lot of stability, but we of course did expect a breakout. But a breakout of this magnitude at the speed in which it happened, I mean, you really had to be on your A game to catch it. So I hope that some of you all made some money during these past 2 weeks with gold. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and the analysis for today. I know I have been a bit inconsistent, but yeah, duty called, and I'm glad I was able to get this to you all today. This is not financial advice, but my personal opinion on the current state of the markets. Before taking any positions in these markets, make sure to do your own research first. Like and subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next video. Happy hunting, traders. Cheers.